Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting, where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlocks tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos is your home. No filters, no mask, just raw bare tone. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title bells, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, Havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am, again, one half of the greatest tag team doing this podcasting thing, the legend J-Mac. With me, as always, is everybody's favorite uncle and my favorite tag team partner, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family?
And guys, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. We just got off of a great hour and 10, 15, 20 minutes with the legendary Mario Mancini from WWF fame. If you don't know who he is, then I don't know where you've been hiding under a rock for the past 40 years, because he's one of the greatest that ever did it as far as getting people over and making guys like Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Greg Valentine. I mean, all the names he was naming off and everything. He was one of the reasons why they were who they were. So go check out the interview, guys. It was great. We're going to do a part 2 next month. We're going to get it going that way, and he's bringing one of his friends, so it's going to be tag team versus tag team. Of course, they'll probably win if it really went to that, but but now getting into this week, we got Clash in Italy to talk about later on. We got, of course, the weekly recaps and everything of the shows, and just a few different things to talk about here today. It was kind of a slow week in wrestling as far as outside of the ring stories. I really don't have too many big stories, but I'm going to start it off like I always do with a couple of these little silly things that we always get to arguing about. Ha ha. We ain't got JD to here today to argue. Ain't that right, JD? We love you, brother. All righty. On the first one here, we got 2 different Survivor Series teams. Don't pay any attention to the date, because I don't know why it says that, but you can tell this is obviously AI too. But you got the golden era versus, well, kind of the golden era, new generation era versus the attitude, ruthless aggression era. And the teams are Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, and the bad guy Razor Ramon, taking on Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Edge, Randy Orton, and Eddie Guerrero. Who you got in this match?
Are you asking who do I like better, or who I think is probably going to win?
Who do you think would win? Let's do both. Who do you like better, and who do you think would win?
Okay. Let's see. What are you calling each team here? Like I said, obviously, it kind of looks like old school and kind of more in the new school type.
We'll call them Team Golden Generation, because it's the golden era and new generation, and Team Attitude Aggression. There you go.
Okay. I'm an old school type of guy, so this ain't really that hard. Like I said, I'm going with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, the bad guy. Those are just my guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that was my golden era. I mean, nothing against the other side. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Eddie, Orton, Kurt and stuff. I ain't got nothing against anybody on the other side, but if you're asking my personal favorite, yeah, not even a choice.
I agree.
As far as when you go against, like if we're lining everybody up, let's see. We're gonna put what? Perfect with Angle. We're gonna put Sean and maybe Eddie, or do you
I
put
could see
Brett
that.
and Kurt?
I think Brett and Jericho would be a better match.
You think that it would?
Yeah. I just think that Brett's ground and pound would be more of a, it would complement Jericho's style because Jericho could high fly, but he wasn't necessarily a high flyer. You know what I'm saying?
I know he dabbled in it, but I never saw him as like one of those cruiserweight, lightweight type guys and
Right.
shit. I don't know why. I guess maybe because he was always with the big boys as a heavyweight. I mean, like winning, world championships. So I just never thought of him, which, like I said, but he could. Um, who's taking Randy and Rick? Do they
That's what
cancel
I
each
was
other out?
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
And what? Kurt with what? Brett or Perfect?
I would put Kurt with Perfect.
That'd be a good
But
match.
if you had team versus team, and just again, not your opinion, do you think that the Attitude Era team could beat the New Generation Era? I mean,
I
of
mean,
course, it's how the writer writes it, but
yeah. I mean, like any given Sunday. But like I said, I just think old school would be too much for the new school here.
I agree 100%.
I think, like I said, Brett's gonna cancel out. Their guy. Maybe their top guy. I look at Rick being tougher than pretty much anybody else. I mean, you got two of the most technical people with Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart right there and shit.
Well, don't forget Sean made top 3 too. No, I'm just
Yeah, man. If you don't, I'm not even responding to that because I'm trying to stay positive over here. I'm trying to stay positive. Uh,
it's like even though I got to root for him on this friggin' team,
yeah.
I
But I
just
mean,
think I think honestly and truthfully, I think the what we call it, the golden generation
yeah,
team,
golden generation.
I think they have a slight advantage because they've got all the technical between Perfect and Bret Hart. And then you've got a little mix of technical with the high flying with Sean. But then you've got the power with Razor and Rude. And I just don't see any power on the other team.
Yeah, like I don't see it in Jericho. I don't see it in Edge. Um, Orton got swole like later on, but like he was never known as a powerhouse. Now, I do think if you're putting Eddie and Sean, like you're talking about high flying, then Eddie's probably going to win that. But if you're talking about any other, I think Sean will take it without. It's hard for me to even say. Ugh,
I agree 100%.
kind
So
of
I,
looking
yeah,
for.
I got to go with the golden generation myself too.
But that is an interesting, like I said, as far as teams or whatever.
It would be too. I mean, the best of each generation, I guess, sort of the best. Well, because I think you could throw Triple H into that ruthless aggression team too, because he was kind of like the leader of that little push and everything.
See, I
And
always
Stone
see him
Cold,
more as an attitude-ish.
I do as the DX. When it
Yeah,
came to the game, Triple H, I
yeah.
seen him because like he kind of took over. At least I think he did after Stone Cold and
The
Rock
Rock
left.
kind of left. Yeah, like he was the
Yeah,
main guy.
he took that flag and kind of went with it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's see here. What we got? Okay, here's one for you. Lock these four men in a steel cage. Who walks out? Brock Lesnar, Gunther, Roman Reigns, and Jacob Fatu. No weapons, no escape, no allies. Only one will survive. Who you got?
I wish I could do this in my Paul Heyman voice. I'd be like, Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar. I know that was terrible. But yeah, come on, bro. Brock, Like the only catch is like who's coming out number two, and that's the only real question. So it'd be Gunther, Roman, and Jacob. I don't know if we know enough about Jacob just yet. Um, I know Roman's been in some steel cage matches, so he's experienced. I don't know if Gunther's been in a whole bunch. Like, has he?
I haven't seen him in a bunch, but I don't see any of these guys other than maybe Jacob being like a legit badass outside of the ring. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
just don't see Brock Lesnar walks around with that mystique of he could whoop your butt, whether it be
yeah,
UFC,
yeah.
WWE, football,
Brock's the
whatever.
easy answer right there and
Right.
shit. But yeah, that's it.
I definitely agree with that completely because yeah, Brock, I would have to go with Brock, but my I guess my congeniality would be Jacob, but I'm a huge Jacob fan.
I am too. I mean, and obviously he's admitted that he's been in trouble with the law and shit. So
Yep.
obviously, he ain't got no problems with that
He's got
shit.
a little bit of a background, so he might be
He's
a
about that
legit
life.
badass. Right.
Yeah.
Don't play with him. All right. I found this little map and everything. I thought it was pretty cool. I wanted to show the fans and everything. This is what the territory system used to look like.
Hmm.
Is that not crazy?
Wow.
Like let's see, what do we got? So around our area, you had Southeastern Championship Wrestling and kind of the NWA Mid America.
Mhm.
You had Continental down south, Gulf Coast, Georgia Championship, of course. Then you had
Who's
Mid
Georgia?
Atlantic.
That big in the light blue.
No, Georgia's down here, number 9, right above Florida. The orange,
Okay.
right above Florida.
Okay. Okay.
And then you got, of course, Mid Atlantic Championship, which was the Crockett Promotions. Of course, you got the WWF slash WWF in the Northeast, but I
Yeah.
didn't know that they were surrounded by the NWA because the NWA had the New England Wrestling. I didn't know that there was an Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling. Like, there's a lot of companies on here that I didn't know about.
I'm
You know,
not surprised.
right? Oh, 'cause it was the territory days.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the NWA, because a lot of these were members of the National Wrestling Alliance, but some of them didn't use the NWA moniker because, like here you got Memphis Wrestling, with Mid South right, underneath it and stuff too and everything. I just thought this was a pretty cool map. And then you got the Polynesian Wrestling over here on the side for Hawaii. I thought this was a pretty cool little
Like,
map.
I would love to have that as like a picture. Like, if I could blow that up and like put that in a frame, like I think that'd be pretty dope.
I do too. Put it on the wall or something behind you or something as a
Yeah.
background or something. That would be pretty cool. NWA New Mexico, Hollywood Wrestling. I'm gonna have to look some of these up. I mean, there's enough here where we could do profiles on these shows or
Yeah.
on these territories. All Star Wrestling over there in Southern Stampede. Of course, we know that was Bret Hart's daddy's. And
I
Maple
want to see some of
Leaf.
these Polynesian or whatever.
Yeah, like I'm interested in all that. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one that Peter Maivia, the Rock's daddy, did was a promoter of and everything. I just thought it was a pretty cool map and everything to show everybody. I'm gonna keep a hold of it just in case. You never know. I may blow it up and make us a picture out of it. All right, I found an old match card too. Well, I say old, but we were just young bucks when this happened. So this was crazy, man. Stone Cold versus Scott Hall in I guess the main event. Kevin Nash was in Scott Hall's corner. One fall to a finish. Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Special attraction match, which was Rikishi versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, what? What I'm saying? That's not a match that I ever thought ever took place.
Yeah.
Got Booker T versus RVD. Number 1 contender match, the APA versus Christian and Lance Storm.
This had to be
Val,
right after the merge or something like that, or
yeah, it had to be early 2000 ish.
yeah.
Probably, I would say probably roughly 2002, 2003, possibly because it was right after the NW because they're advertising them as the NWO and of course Hollywood Hogan and stuff. So I would say it's probably right around there. I didn't see a date on here. I don't know if maybe
Oh,
I've
Lance
missed it because
Storm.
of the
I ain't heard
band.
that name in forever.
Oh, I know. Oh, well, there you go. Friday, March 1st, 2002, University of South Florida, Sundome is where this took
Okay.
place. And then let's see, you had Val Venus versus Test, Jazz versus Trish Stratus, Scotty Too Hottie and Albert versus Mr. Perfect and the Big Boss Man. Like what? Like some of these combinations, it's just like I didn't even know that Mr. Perfect was wrestling for the WWE in 2002. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, haha, no pun intended. Spike Dudley versus X Pac. I could see that. That might have been a pretty good little match. Two guys, same size and stuff. I just like coming. I like seeing these old match cards and putting them up there and everything. You think this was a good match? Would this have been a show you would went and see? Because I know I would have.
I
I'd have
probably
rather
would
paid
have
our
just
money.
because it would have took like a mix of people that I really liked from WCW and from WWF and kind of put them together. So,
So tell me,
but
with the
but
match card we just saw versus this match card, which one would you have rather paid for?
which one are you talking about? The before? Oh,
The
probably the
SmackDown
other
we
one.
went to.
Oh,
No, like comparing the
oh,
match
okay,
card
okay.
on
Oh,
SmackDown to this match card, I would have rather paid the money and got this match card.
oh, yeah, and plus they've been 10 times cheaper.
Right. And that's the
Uh,
thing. Because at this time, I remember I was going just before a few years before this, I was going to the Raws and I was paying $30, $40 for a ticket. You
And
know,
see, that's when it was in the prime type deal too. I mean, like even when shit was like, prime Stone Cold time, NWA, tickets wasn't breaking the bank. I mean, yeah, there was a markup and shit, which is normal and shit, but it wasn't constant. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? Every fucking show wasn't like, hey, we're gonna tax the hell out of you. You
Now,
could still afford a ticket, or you could still afford to take your family.
right. And we've beat that horse to death. Lord, I still can't get over that. All righty. So we've got a War Games match. I want to see what your
My
opinion.
favorite shit in the
All
whole
right,
time world.
let's see how you like this matchup. So we got the two ring steel cage War Games,
Yeah.
but the participants are going to be the Dangerous Alliance
Okay.
versus the Hart Foundation.
Oh,
5-on-5.
let's see. So we got Owen Neidhart, Brian Pillman, Brett, and Davey Boy versus, and then like go back to the David. Okay, we got Stone Cold, Ray Briscoe, his food, Double A. This is
Plus led by Paul Heyman, too.
yeah. See, like he's at man, because he's gonna get involved in shit. That's a given. Oh, damn, man. Now, like this one's way harder than the last one. Oh, this is so much harder. I'm going to go with the Hart family for two reasons. One, because I'm a huge Hart fan to start with, and I'm just gonna let my bias show. Um, but two, um, I think like if we're playing this game, we're doing war games. They got more unity and shit. They're a family. It's not just a group of guys working together. It's family. So family's always going to have the advantage when it comes. Train together, work together. Um, but as far as the matchup, man, that's some great matchups right there. A lot of technical skill. Stone Cold can go technical. Double A, obviously, Larry Zbyszko can go technical. Um, Rick Rude, he's not known for being technical, but I mean, him and Neidhart to go at it and shit, and that's still gonna be a good fucking match. And then you
Power
got what?
versus power right there.
We got Pillman. I feel like I'm missing somebody on the Dangerous Alliance, but see, Paulie is always gonna be that, that fifth guy, sixth guy, whatever you want to call it and shit, because he's always gonna get involved.
Pillman and Eaton.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good matchup.
Oh God, that goes so good.
I would almost be willing. The point you made about the unity and just the hearts and
Right.
they were remove Brian Pillman, no offense to him, but he wasn't family, he was part of the Hart Foundation, stuff like that, but these other guys were literally family, brothers and
Yeah.
brother-in-laws. Even Davy Boy and Neidhart were brother-in-laws with each other
Yeah.
because
Marriage and
marrying,
stuff.
so it's like it's the unity there that gets me, that I think I would go with the Hearts in this. But had you taken away the Dangerous Alliance and put the Horsemen in there with Arn Anderson, I would have had to have possibly gone with the Horsemen because of their unity.
See,
There was just no jealousy or anything inside the Horsemen. It was, who cares who's the champion as long as we're all the champion.
yeah, I get that, but the only reason I would probably choose the Heart over the Horseman because at first glance, the first thing I saw was Double A, and I was like, okay, this is the Horseman, and then I had to take a double look. Um, would probably be, I think, man, because like the whole Unity thing would probably cancel each other out, and then you got to go individual matchups. So like we swap out the Dangerous Alliance for the Horsemen. It's like what you got Brett and what versus what Flair,
Yeah.
Double A versus what Owen.
Yeah. Or Tully versus Owen.
Okay, and then what Neidhart versus like whoever the
Either I would say Neidhart. I would put Barry versus the Bulldog.
okay. Also, yeah. Also, that's what I was going to say. Like, which horsemen are we saying and stuff too?
Greatest iteration: Barry,
Okay,
Tully, Arn, and Flair.
okay, okay.
My opinion, that's the greatest
Uh,
iteration.
so,
That's who I would have went with. But fantasy. That's the whole point of fantasy stuff, is we'll never know. We can sit and second guess this stuff all we want to. Uh you know,
like, what do you think?
with that matchup, I would have to give it to the Hearts, just because, like you said, the
Are we talking about
unity.
the Dangerous Alliance versus the Hearts, or are we talking about the Horsemen versus
Okay,
the
now the
Hearts?
Horsemen versus the Hearts, I would
Uh-huh.
probably be more inclined to go with the Horsemen,
Okay.
just because I think the Horsemen, especially if we're talking about both groups in their prime, I think the Horsemen themselves would not care one bit, even in war games, to cheat and do what they got to do to win. And that's the X factor to me, with the Horsemen overall, is they will come up with a plan, even if it's a spur of the moment plan. They will come up with that plan to cheat and win that match.
Let's
Now,
see. Go ahead.
I was going to say Brett and them. Yeah, they've been known, Owen known to cheat and everything, but not the way the Horsemen would cheat.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's more like a Pillman thing with cheat or whatever. Um,
Yes.
and the Horsemen usually always had like a manager and shit, like J.J. Dillon, or like I said, like if you're having Paulie part of this, that fifth person is definitely always going to have a backup plan. They're going to have some brass knuckles. They're going to have uh, something that's gonna change it for him. So I'm
Yep.
definitely I like anybody with somebody, especially Paulie Dangerously and shit.
Right. It's hard to bet against him.
Yeah,
At this point his record speaks for itself. He's definitely done anything and everything that the wrestling business has ever needed him to do
yeah.
as far as a promoter or whatever else. So moving on to this, I want to see what your opinion is. What do you think about the setup of the Queen of the Ring and the King of the Ring tournament? Are you okay with these first round matchups and everything, or do you wish that they other people would have been involved?
Uh, let's see. Because I remember watching Raw, so I remember seeing the first one for the men and the women, which Oba won for the guys, and Io Sky won for the ladies.
Yeah, let's see.
Um,
EO, who was it that EO beat? EO beat Perez.
yeah.
And
Perez,
then you
I
got
think it was
Julia
Julia.
versus Lash Legend, Bailey versus Raquel Rodriguez,
No,
JC
like it's four
Jane.
people at a time.
Oh, is it okay? I thought that this
Yes.
was like, oh, okay.
No,
So
no, no.
these are
No,
fatal
it's like
four ways
yes, yes, yes,
to
yes,
get into the tournament.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so Io Sky beat Perez, Julia, and Lash Legend.
yes.
See, I don't like the way they're doing that.
I thought, see, because see, that's what I thought you were asking. Like, do do I like how they're doing as far as the matchup? Like, do I like, how they used to do it two, just two and two, and then you move up, or do
Right.
you like the whole four people versus one? Now that's a whole lot quicker, but um, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of old school, so I do like the old way, but I'm okay with the new way too. But I probably prefer like the old school.
I'm the same way. I don't know that I like this whole. I don't know. But
I
then
see
you got
why they do it though. Like I said, I mean, like if you're trying to speed stuff up, if you're trying to,
yes.
you know, get through it a lot quicker and dragging it on, then this
Well,
is the
plus if you got
opportunity.
16 people in each bracket,
Yeah, I
that's
mean that's a lot of
32
people.
people. That's a long term. Well, we know what 32 people in a tournament and how long that can drag
Oh
on
hell,
just doing a
okay. See,
podcast.
exactly.
So,
See, yeah,
so for that, I understand why they're doing this fatal four way stuff. I just don't know that I like it. Okay, so in that case, let's get your predictions for the next three matches. So we've got, let's see who we got here. While we're here, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. Who do you think's got that one? Who do you think's going to the second round?
right. Liv Morgan, Chelsea Green, Alexis Bliss, and who was the other one?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Part of me wants to say Green, but I think since Becky just lost her belt, they're gonna throw her a bone and at least let her move on. So I'd probably say Becky on that.
See, I'm going to go either Bliss or Green. And Morgan doesn't need it because she's
Yeah,
got a championship. Lynch just lost a championship, so she's probably going to be taking a break here soon. And then, which I know she's on vacation. She was showing that she was on vacation. Um, I think it's either going to be Bliss or Green. Green's got the momentum going and the fans behind her
yeah,
right now. Bliss, I know she's kind of wrapped up with this whole, bestie thing with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley and all that stuff and everything. But I could see, I think it's time that they do something else with Alexa Bliss. She's too talented just to keep her sitting on the sidelines like they have been. Just
yeah.
my opinion. So I
I,
think I think I think Green or Bliss. My opinion. Go
I
ahead.
almost feel like they're using like Alexis Bliss as like I hate to say like a jobber, but I almost feel like that's what they're doing with her now. It's like
A carpenter.
a carpenter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right, right. We've learned new things. It's a
Yeah,
carpenter.
carpenter. Like, cause I don't know. I just feel like they're not really doing much. Like you said, the whole best friend thing run its course. They won the belt. They lost the belt. Um, I don't really think they're in contention. Plus, I kind of like to see somebody else. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what they need to do with it. What they need to do, like do something else because you're right. I mean, she is too talented.
I agree. All right, moving on to the next match. We got Sol Ruka, Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte Flair, and Jade Cargill.
Okay, now like say that one more time.
Sol Ruka, Lyra
Mhm.
Valkyria, uh, Charlotte Flair, and Jade Cargill.
I was gonna say so Ruka, but she just won the belt, so I don't think they're gonna give her another belt. Um, maybe Lyra. I don't see why you would put it on Charlotte, like I said, because they're basically using her as a carpenter too. I almost feel like, and Jade Cargill just had the belt, so yes,
I
Lyra.
think you're. I was gonna say. I think you're leaning the same way I'm going to lean too for the same reasons.
Yeah,
Ruka's got the belt. Flair's in the tag team thing, doing that whole thing with Rhea and all that stuff, which I think is going to turn into Flair turning her back on Rhea and going after that title. And then Jade Cargill, she just kind of finished her thing with Rhea, and she was just the champion. I don't see her needing to be the queen of the ring or anything like that. And it's about time they kind of push Lyra Valkyria up to that main event status and see if she can, hold I guess, the title, whichever one. To me, though, it's almost like with the women's championships, there's not like a top women's championship like there is with the men's, if that
like
makes
they're all
sense.
equal.
Yes, like the men's, I hate to say it, but Cody's title is the top title between those two.
1A and 1B, pretty much.
Yes, but with the women's titles, I don't feel like there's a 1A 1B. I feel like they're right on par with each other. Either or is just fine. You're a world
Yeah,
champion either way.
yeah.
I don't know why, and I don't know if it's purposefully done by the WWE or what. But I don't know. I feel like that, and I
Well,
think
shouldn't
it's
one have more of a longer legacy? I mean, because one was created not too long ago, but they've
I
had a woman's title for a while.
I think which one is it? The one that Liv Morgan has is the old WWE Women's Championship.
Oh, okay,
I
okay, okay.
think the world title that oh, who is it that's got that one? Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I think that one is the offset of the Divas title.
So is that the one that's supposed to be the bigger one, the 1A?
No, no, the 1A is the one that Morgan has.
Oh, okay.
Is supposed to be the 1A. But like I said, I think they've done a great job at getting the shadow of that stupid Divas title out of there. And they've done a
Um,
good job of making them equal. I don't think they've done a good job of making the men's world championships equal.
no.
All
But I'm
righty.
okay with that. Honestly, like I
I
know
am
some
too.
people might not agree, but I'm okay with one being higher than the other, man. It doesn't bother me.
The only problem I have with it is it's almost like the men's world championship, not the undisputed WWE championship, but the world championship, the one that who has that right now?
What, Roman?
Yeah, Roman. I almost feel like that's the new Intercontinental Championship.
Um,
As far as like, okay, we're going to give you the world title and see if it works out. If you blow up on that one, we'll give you the undisputed. I
Kind of
mean,
like
look at
when they tested Jay Uso with it or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, I was getting you took the words right out of my mouth, except for the fact that
Um,
I was just going to say mid card.
I just wish they would switch it back to the old big belt and shit. Like I don't like them being almost identical and they're just different by color. Like I want to see the old WCW belt, and
I
like
think it's
because if they're gonna be different, then like make them different.
I think it's an ugly belt too.
Yeah.
It's too bulky. There's
I
something
don't like
there's
the new belts anyway, like I said. But like if you're gonna have one, I mean, you can have a WWE like that, but go back to the other one, or
right.
like make it just more like the old one. I mean, you could update a little bit, add a little more jewelry or something. I mean,
Give us
but
old heads a little nostalgia.
yeah,
I
like you
mean,
can make it old but new at the same time and shit. I mean, just keep the basic shit the same.
yep, they definitely could. All right, so who do you have between JC Jane? I can't for the life of me. James's first name is escaping me. Raquel Rodriguez and Bailey.
Bailey, Raquel Rodriguez. You said JCJ, and who was the other one?
Uh, I can't think of her first name to save my life, but James.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna say JCJ.
JC Jane in this one.
Yeah, I think I think her in her little fashion kind of on a tear,
Yep.
and they're getting a big push right now anyway. Because they come into the division, beat up a bunch of people, left everybody laying. I think this is part of her push. So yeah, I'm going with her.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep these so that way I can advance them, and we'll talk about next week and stuff whenever everybody's advanced, and we'll keep it going and everything with these, so that way we
Who's
don't
your
get
pick,
rid.
real quick though?
Oh
Like
yeah,
before we
yeah,
switch.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go with Bailey because of what I'm getting. What we're going to talk about here in a minute. Um, I could see Raquel Rodriguez just because now she's the one that's in the Judgment Day, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I could see the only way I see Liv Morgan with that world title getting to the finals would be is if they take Rodriguez and put her to the finals, and she has to beat her teammate who is
Yeah.
also the world champion, and that makes her queen of the ring because that'll be her big push. I could see that happening. But as far as just this matchup, I could see either Rodriguez or JC Jane. I don't see Bailey and I don't see James. So it's going to be one of those two for me. I can't really narrow it down just yet. All righty. For the men's side of things, we have got Penta versus Obafemi versus Solo Sikoa and Carmelo Hayes. Who you got in that one?
I already know because they had it on Raw.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. They did, didn't they? My bad.
yeah, Oba won that.
That's
Oba.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will push him to the end, knowing that he's going to end up in one more match with Brock?
I think they're gonna try, but I feel like Brock's gonna come in with the interference and kind of mess up his chances. Now there is a good chance they will push him to be the king because he is the ruler. Ruler needs a crown. Kind of makes sense, and he
Right.
is getting a lot of uh, love right now, so it would kind of make sense.
Oh my God. And going back to the women, I'm sorry. Have you seen this stuff that everybody's been saying about Sol Ruka being the Intercontinental Champion?
No, what about her?
They're saying I've seen memes left and right going, congratulations to the first African American women's Intercontinental Champion.
What? Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Heard, I can't remember which one, but one of her parents is black.
Thought she was Hawaiian.
From what I heard, hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to tell nobody
Yeah,
wrong.
I thought she was Hawaiian or some shit. I didn't think she was
Let's
that
see.
like
What?
because I know she's from Hawaii and shit.
Ruca is how you spell her last name, right?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look
Let's
it up.
see. It says Sol Ruca is biracial with a black father and white mother. Sol
Really?
Ruca, whose real name is Calix Harmony Hampton, has openly discussed her biracial identity, noting she is the daughter of a black father, musician, Paul A. Hampton, and a white mother, She has also addressed public curiosity questions about her racial identity, particularly during Black History Month, emphasizing that she identifies as mixed race and embraces both aspects of her heritage.
Oh, I did not know that. That's
I was like, but I get it, but Lord, you know what I'm saying? Let's just enjoy the fact that she's a great wrestler. Who
yeah, yeah,
cares? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I mean, why
I
do
don't
we
think that
always
has to.
have to
Yeah, like I don't think that should be the main point and shit.
right? Why do we always have to break everything down to this, that, and the other, and let's separate each other somehow? I hate how they do that. But yeah, I just wanted your opinion on that because I mean, it's
I
true,
didn't know
but
that. Like I said, I thought she was Hawaiian, like Polynesian or something like that. I thought, like one of her parents, was from the island, so that's why. But it is what it is. It's no big deal.
right. I don't find it affects her wrestling any. She's a fantastic wrestler. I enjoy her matches. I don't care. I don't know why we have to always bring that up. But anyways, I digress. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Next match for the men, we have Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. Who you got in that one?
Braun Breaker.
That's I see them going Braun Breaker versus Obafemi and Brock coming out and doing his thing during that match to let Breaker move forward.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think we're pretty much in agreement, pretty much there. All right, we got in the top of the next one, we got Seth Rollins, Javon Evans, Tama Tonga, and Ricky Saints.
Okay. Seth Rollins and Tama Tonga. Now, like, is Tama Tonga the big 7-foot motherfucker from MFP?
Yes,
Oh, him.
the one that we seen the other day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I want to say him honestly, but I feel like they're trying to push. Like I feel like Ricky Saints is a little too young for it. Uh, Tom Matongo is like like the unstoppable monster, and Dom still got the belt or whatever.
Not Dom, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Seth only if Braun Breaker makes it to the next round. Like if they two, like if Braun makes it to the next round, Seth will make it to the next round,
Okay,
and
so you think
they'll
it's going to be based on what they're doing with the whole
yeah,
vision thing and everything?
yeah, yep.
See, I almost agree with an article I seen. I think the WWE's about ready has just given up on Seth, and I don't think it's out of spite or anything like that. If Seth could stay healthy, there's no reason why Seth shouldn't be your main bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows how to get that heat. But I think that they've kind of given up as far as pushing him to the moon because of the fact that he just can never stay healthy anytime he has the championship.
How many times has he been a champ?
I want to say 5 or 6, maybe.
Could it be that he's just kind of played out as far as the champ? We've seen him before. Um, he had that push with the vision, like you said. I mean, obviously he got hurt, but so did all the vision and shit. I don't know, like you can necessarily put that on him. I don't know how many injuries he's had, since he's been in wrestling. Obviously, it's a physical sport, so that kind of comes with it. But yeah, staying healthy
Five
is
times.
definitely, huh?
5 times.
What as far as champ?
Yeah, he's been 5-time world champ and 2 WWE championships, Universal champion twice, and world heavyweight champion once.
And see, he only had to give up the belt and shit because he got hurt. Now, if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't have got the this swerve with the vision, and I think they would have kept going. Um, so I don't think they given up on him. I think right now, of course, he's more of a baby face. He's fighting against the vision, so he's the me against the world type shit. Um, I think he just has kind of bad luck with the whole injuries and shit, but I think that just comes with the kind of the name of the game. Now they should push him a little bit more as a villain again because I think he does great. But I mean, you can't really control what's going to happen as far as everybody getting hurt. Because, like I said, I mean, with Bronson, with Braun, uh,
It's an
Seth,
injury-prone sport.
yeah. And it just so happened that everybody was on that same Logan. Like everybody got hurt in
Oh,
1 year's
trust me,
time.
I've got a story about that for us here in a little bit.
Everybody, like, I almost feel like they were really cursed and shit. Like, I mean,
Yes,
like the Danhausen come through and be like, curse, 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 curse.
right. You are cursed.
Yeah.
Speaking of Danhausen, I'm gonna show this off here in just a second. I'm gonna go with Javon Evans on this one because I think they're just ready to push him to the moon as of right now. But in this matchup, I'm either going Tomatonga or Javon Evans.
Yeah. I
Before
feel
we
like
go,
Tonga Tonga or maybe Seth if Braun if Breaker makes it through. Yeah. If not, it's Tonga Tonga.
before we do this last pick this last match, I'm gonna show everybody my Danhausen autograph. I got
Signed.
from SmackDown. Yes, yes,
Signed by the man himself.
and we are not cursed, and we're not cursed because we just had Mario Mancini on the show. We are blessed.
Blessed.
But yeah, getting back to those matchups and everything. Um, we got Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor.
Finn Balor was the Uso, and what was the other one?
LA Knight. I know it's to the point where you know
I
they're
want
not
to
gonna
say LA Knight, but I still feel like
they're not
they're
gonna do
st-
anything with him.
yeah, they're kind of hyping Jay, with the whole Roman being like, there's two sides of a table, they'll be on the other, but they're trying to push Roy Keys. So I almost want to say if say Tamatanga wins one on the other side, then they might throw Royce Keys because they have kind of a rivalry going right now.
Right.
But I think that plays off each other.
I'm almost wondering if they don't have an idea, or who knows? It may be. Well, we know WWE creative ain't doing too much with ideas because it's mostly TKO. But I honestly and truthfully wonder if they're not trying, if a possibility, if they don't do the Brock interference and stuff like that, if they're not trying to narrow this down to Oba versus Royce in the finals. Two big powerhouses. But the only sad thing is if you do that, you're gonna, and I don't want to say bury one, but you're going to defeat one of them, and that's going to defeat the whole purpose of that person.
Yeah, see, because both of them got movement going right now, so I just don't see that going. I feel like you got to have a good. I feel like it'd be more like a Seth and a Braun Breaker for King of the Ring and shit, or it just being Oba getting there because he is the king and he is a ruler, and that sets up him and Brock going, SummerSlam, Brock going to defeat the ruler or become the king or
Right.
to overthrow the king, whatever you want to call it.
Shula Fala. No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I missed the Shula Fala. That was hilarious.
So, I mean, there's really so many things, but it's kind of hard to know when you got TKO over here in the mix and shit.
Right. And is it me, or does it look like that they are not going to actually do a King of the Ring pay-per-view this year? They're going to do it at Night of Champions.
Oh, I could see that.
And I
Agreed.
hate the way they do that, man, because King of the Ring should be its own pay per view. It should be the tournament for the night. You don't have to really worry about it. Any big championships, just enjoy the tournament and not knowing who's going to win. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to do it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean,
I'm just, kind of add to that. I'm shocked that they're actually going to do the NXT pay per views on CW instead of actually putting them on like ESPN.
I know, but I'm not going to complain either.
No.
And any free wrestling, I'll take it at this point. Speaking of which, remind me to talk to you after the show, and I gotta let you in on something that may
Oh,
help
okay.
that situation out
Okie
uh,
dokie.
with the ESPN and stuff and everything. But yeah, I will keep these, and I'll try to figure out how to advance the winners and everything, and we will get it. We'll keep up with the tournament every week and talk about it every week as it's going on and everything.
All right.
Getting to the last few stories I've got and everything because we're coming up on the hour and we don't want to spend too much time and keep y'all on your Friday nights and everything. It is 10:30. Uh, it is expected that Bailey's contract is going to be allowed to expire. Now, there is no word on whether or not they're going to bring her back or, for a lesser deal or if they're just going to let her go. I think it's a mistake if they let this woman go. I think it's a mistake that they haven't been using her the way they should have been using her. But to let her go completely, you let somebody like Bailey show up on TNA or AEW. That's going to change that women's division because I think Bailey's just that good, especially playing a bad guy. When she first came in doing the whole I'm a hugger and all that stuff and everything,
Yeah.
I really thought, okay, well, she's got the fans, but I don't know if this is really going to go anywhere. She
Mhm.
started playing that bad guy, and I was like, wow, this girl can do it as a heel.
See, I'm almost like the opposite of you when it comes to this. I kind of want her to go because I think she could do so much better getting away from WWE. I think
Oh, I
she would have
agree.
more control over her character. I think they would appreciate her more. I think they would do more with her. Um, it's
Stop
kind of
doing
like
this
we said,
bipolar thing that they're
yeah.
doing.
I think that it's kind of like what we said before that they kind of buy up some of the good talent and just kind of hold them so that nobody else gets them, not to really use them, just to have them. And yes, she is, on TV and she's going, but they got her at this whole tag team thing with Lyra or whatever, and I don't see that just going anywhere. Um, I don't see it lasting. I feel like if her contract does expire, I think she'll get snapped up pretty quickly. I think there's other people that she's wanting to work with. I think she would have no problem getting signed to another organization and get good money. I think her going to AEW or TNA would actually probably like revitalize her career some
Do you
because I
think
think
it
it's
could
just
be?
got stale.
Do you think it could be enough to really revitalize like AEW or TNA's women's division?
I don't think it's gonna be a game changer, but I think it would definitely add a lot to it because I think she still has a lot left. I think she's got a lot of good matches before, and I don't think she's even close to being done, honestly.
I agree.
And I think with the right people put together, you can have some really good matches.
I would love to see her with Tessa Blanchard,
Mhm.
Dr. Britt Baker, but of course, who knows what they're doing with Britt Baker too. Not only that, if she went to AEW, semi. Um, Appreciate you being here, Wolf Man. Hope you're doing all right. Let's see. Wolfman commented here. Get him up here. Give him a little recognition. We appreciate it, man. Always. Anytime you want to come on the show, man, let us know. We'll get you in. We'll do it. We'll get you in on a recap show. Get some opinions. We like having other people here. bouncing our ideas off each other. But I think
Definitely.
her going to AEW, a reunion with Mercedes Monet or whatever she's
Yeah.
called now, a semi horsewomen reunion.
Half of
I,
them.
yeah, I think that could, do something. I don't know. I think it's going to be a mistake on the WWE's part to let her go. I'm not saying it's like going to be a detrimental, mistake to where, oh God, the tide's turned. She's went over there. She's going to change. She's not Hulk Hogan going from WWF to WCW,
Yeah.
but she's enough of a star to bring attention over to it. And if they do right with it, it could give them a little momentum to help them out. So, whatever she does, I wish her the best because she definitely deserves it. She's one of my favorite women wrestlers, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
But I think she would do better in TNA than she would AEW just because of her style. I think AEW is just a little more hardcore, um, especially with like a lot, some of the matches. I think TNA, like I said, is just a better fit. But I mean, she can do both. I mean, but I think she's the better fit in TNA.
But whatever happens, get your money, girl.
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
you've earned
Know
it
your
at this
worth.
point. That's it.
Know
You've
your
earned
worth.
it at this point. How
Mhm.
many? Well, she's big part of that women's revolution 10, 15 years ago. So got to give it to her. Let's see here. Oh, MJF versus Bobby Orlando. I'm going to announce that this is probably the last American independent match I'm going to have for an extraordinarily long time. MJF via an interview with Justin Barrasso. What do you think? Do you think that, like, once you've hit the status that MJF is doing, that you should or even have? Let's separate that. Should you, when you're making the money he's making, from AEW being their world champion, do independent shows? And if you're making that money, do you have to?
Um, See, okay, because that's what I was going to ask. I'm like, so what does this mean by independent match? Obviously, so he still works for AEW, but he's allowed to work indie matches to make
Yes.
extra cash and stuff. Honestly, it kind of depends on the. No, like I almost look at it like this as like a pro player going play like a pickup game. Uh, yeah, you can do it. Is it really worth it? What happens if you get hurt? You know, Um, it's like you're taking that chance of getting hurt when you're not playing your sports, and then you're kind of fucked. Um, Technically, he can do whatever he wants, like unless it's stipulated in his contract. Would I? Probably not. Like you're getting paid really good money. Your body's already takes a beating enough as it is in wrestling, so that extra that you're getting is probably not worth it. Now, I mean, because he is who he is, he's probably getting a nice little payday and shit. I mean, I guarantee whoever's
Oh
having
yeah.
him, you know. But is it worth it in the end? I don't think so. I
I
think
don't
that
either.
like if you already got a nice little deal, and the nature of the sport is already tearing up your body, the the less you have to wrestle and still making a good living, I would go with that. I mean, you can call it playing safe. I just know that there's not really a retirement plan for wrestlers out there. There's not a union, there's not a pension. So and your body is your biggest asset.
Yep. Your health,
Yeah, your health
because
in general. Yeah, because
if
if
you're
you don't
not
have a
healthy,
body, like if you don't have your mind, 'cause and he's in probably one of the most brutal, promotions, AEW. It's a string for a reason.
I have to agree. Especially some of the stuff that they pull off. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't think you need to, like you said, if you're making. I got news for you. if somebody looks at me, I do security work as my shoot job. If somebody looks at me and says, here's a company that's worth $15 million, it's your company now, run it the way you want to, do your thing, you know how to do it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going out to a site and working security anymore. I'm sending people out to that site. You know what I'm saying? So once you become, we all know that MJF is probably comfortable in his life now, as far as monetarily. So is another 5, 6,000, 10,000 doing an indie show really worth everything? Like you said, is it worth blowing your knee out? Is it worth, and I don't mean that as any, bad thing. Again, everybody, if you didn't watch the other show, keep Mario Mancini's friend, wrestler in your prayers. He hurt his knee while doing a show tonight. So please, keep him in your prayers. But it's just like that. Anything can happen on any night. So it's like, don't take that chance. Keep your money, because the next thing you know, you blow your knee out and you're not the world champion anymore because you've had to, relinquish the title. And, we all know, yes, you've got a contract, but we all know that with being the world champion for a company, that exposure brings you more appearances, which brings you more money. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and also being a champ, like it comes with a certain responsibility. You are the figure of that of that company. I was going to say country for some reason. Like you are the face of that company and stuff. So like if you're not there, then you're not promoting them. And also, like I could see if MJF, was just doing like appearances, like if he was showing up and they were paying him to get in the ring, talk some shit, but he really didn't have to wrestle. But if you have to go put your body on the line, like I said, I'm still gonna hesitate. And probably one of the biggest things about him is him just talking. That's what like a lot of people like. Like he's good on the mic. So, you could probably being who he is, he could get paid for just showing up, talking some shit, pissing some people off, and then walking away.
flipping off a few 5-year-olds and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's necessary to do it. Once you make a certain tax bracket, it's time to sit down and relax a little bit, All righty, on to the next. Let's see. I have one more good match left in me. Do you know who said that?
One more good match.
And he's serious about it. I don't want to see it.
I heard somebody say that kind of thing. Hold on. Man, this is gonna bug me because when you tell me, I'm gonna be like, "Yep, I saw that, but I could not remember."
Mick Foley.
Was it Foley?
Yes.
No.
I don't want to see it. Yes. I do
I
not.
thought that him was just talking or something. Shit, like I didn't think
He's saying he's got one more good match left in him, and he wouldn't mind doing it for AEW. I'm just like, no.
Wow.
Let's not do. Let's not.
You don't need it. I mean, like you're making good money. I mean, you write books. You're doing comedy. You can make appearances. Like you don't.
What we just say? About MJF.
Yeah, you don't need the money. Like you just don't.
There is nothing Mick Foley can't do off the name Mick Foley alone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he wants to be a special guest on a TV show, there's a TV show out there that's going to pay him to be a special guest for an episode or two.
I just don't think it's worth it. Like I said, he's giving his body so much more than a lot of people as far as punishment.
Mhm.
And his age, I just don't think one, his body's going to heal the way it should. God knows what he's as far as permanent damage he already has done to his body uh, through the years. So, and I thought he was going to go ahead and get all his teeth fixed, get everything, like all his injuries and stuff, taken care of and be done with. Um, I just don't see the point. I
I don't either,
mean, like
especially at 60 years old.
you don't have to. I mean, Mick's got more than enough money. Like I said, I mean, I feel like he's a pretty frugal guy, especially from the stories that I've heard.
Right.
Um,
Sleeping,
I know he's
sleeping
not
on,
balling out. Yeah,
right. What was it? Sleeping on fans' couches just to save money in a hotel room.
yeah. The
Like,
showers
huh?
where he puts the same clothes back on.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't. Yeah. That's just a little
That's
much
fucking
for me.
disgusting.
It is. Yeah. You don't need to, Mick. We love you anyway. We're not, it's not going to change anything. So just leave it be, let it go. All righty. Getting down to the last few. We got Braun Strowman ready to embarrass Obafemi upon WWE return on one condition. And his one condition is if you back a Brinks truck back to my doorstep and drop some money off on my porch, he said, I'll come out of retirement and fight Obafemi one on one. He said, and I'll beat him. Now, of course, we know, again, you'll beat him if the story says you're going to beat him. But would you want to see that? That's a couple pretty big guys going at it.
Um, I guess I could be tempted. Um, I'm not gonna run to see it. See, because I missed a lot of Braun Strowman. That was when I really wasn't watching a whole bunch of wrestling at the time. Um, so I kind of missed that. I see why, Strowman's saying that because he saw, he sees Brock coming back, for his, last hurrah. Plus, Obey's big thing is he's supposed to be super strong, and when he was struggling to get, what was it, Otis up,
Yeah.
and Braun was like, I picked Otis up, like a million times and stuff, easily and stuff. Like I wouldn't have a problem. He's not, basically saying that he's not as strong as I am. Um,
That's a big dude getting F5'd. Talking about
yeah.
Otis. Man, I wouldn't want to fall from 6 feet in the air.
How big is Strowman anyway?
He's like 6'4", I think it is. 6'4", 300 and something pounds. Let's see. We'll look up right here. Let's see. Braun Strowman. Well, of course, that's going to give me everything, but he is. Oh, I'm way off. He is 6'8", 335 pounds.
What's Oba?
Oba is.
Because I think Oba's at least 300, ain't he?
Oh God, yeah. Oba's got to be at least 350.
I was gonna say 330, something like that.
Let's see here. We will find out right here in just a second. Oh, there it is. This is a wonderful thing about technology, guys, is you can look stuff up at your fingertips. So he is 6'6", 310 pounds.
Okay, so Braun's obviously got a little bit of height, a little
And a
more.
little bit of weight too, about 25 pounds in weight.
But still pretty close and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, comparative. I could see
Watch it and shit.
as a
I
one off.
like I don't see it being as big as Brock just because Brock's the bigger name or whatever. Uh, but I wouldn't mind it. Now I don't know if I'd be like I. back a truck up and I'll pay to see it type shit. I think, Brock's is just different. Lesnar is he's box office. Nothing against Strowman and stuff. He's just never been the star that Lesnar had. So he's not going to get the same amount of money.
I agree. Sorry. I was getting a message from Mr. Mancini about the gentleman who had his knee hurt and everything, and it was confirmed the gentleman did blow his knee out. So keep him in your prayers. It's going to be a while before he's back in the
Hate to
ring.
hear that.
Yes. So definitely keep that guy in your prayers and all that stuff and everything, and be looking for part 2 of the Mario Mancini interview because we are going to have him back next month. One day, me and Uncle Sam got to do some talking about that. Yeah, let me get on through these last couple so we can get to these results and get out of here. We were talking about the curse of the vision, and everybody in this picture has been injured except for Austin Theory, which he's kind of the newest member that they just plugged in. But even he kind of suffered the injury of his gimmick was stupid for forever, and now they want me to believe that he's some dangerous guy and everything. He was a joke getting stunned and beat up and punched and smacked around for 5 years, and now all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe that he's this dangerous vision guy. I just don't get it. I don't buy it. I think this whole vision thing, because of the injuries that have happened, everything surrounding it, it just needs to be blown up. Forget it. Let everybody go their own separate ways. If you want to push Austin Theory now, push Austin Theory. It's going to be a while before Logan's back, at least 6 months. So we're looking at, New Year's around the time Royal Rumble time for Logan Paul to be back. There's rumor that Braun Breaker has re-injured himself. It's not like a major, I got a missed time injury, but he's injured again. So, between what is it? What's the other Braun?
Uh, um,
Bronson Reed.
yeah, Brock.
You got Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, and I got news for you. I don't care about either guy. You've made them both people that there's no reason to care about them. Bronson Reed a year and a half ago was this dangerous guy who could like crush you coming off the top rope with his tsunami.
Yeah.
Now I don't even hardly hear his name mentioned anymore. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And
I mean, he's been gone for so long. Obviously, out of sight, out of mind. Uh, but I agree with you. Like, I feel like the whole vision thing. Once Seth got hurt and everybody else started getting hurt, blow it up, start again. They also seem like they're trying to push this whole Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory maybe thing going on or whatever because they're starting to be around each other. She act like he ain't trying to mess with her, old group and trying to be around him. So
I
I
wonder if that has anything to do with the LA Knight thing and the fact that she's LA Knight's brother. If they're going to try to write that into the story.
I don't know, but I'm with you. Let's just blow up the vision and start something fresh, because Braun Breaker can stand on his own. He's fine. Like, you can put him with whoever and he's gonna have a good story right there.
I'm sick of the bloodline, and I would rather see a revamp of the bloodline than I would anything else to do with the vision.
I don't even want to see the bloodline
I
again.
don't
Like,
either.
I see why they're doing it because I feel like it's TKO and they're like, well, it worked for this long, so hey, let's do it again. Um, which I think is stupid because this shit gets played out. I think it was played out a long time ago. I think it was good while it was, but I think they drug it on too long, like they do with a lot of things. And I don't think people want to see that. I don't want like unless they can come up with something really creative to do with maybe like a new bloodline or maybe have a split or something like that where there's two different groups. But if not, I don't. I'm just not that interest in it.
I agree 100%. All righty, last couple of stories here. So Tony Khan has come out and said we will never respond to social media criticism. If ratings are down, if revenue is down, if relevancy is down, it's up to us. Well, no crap, Tony Khan. But that's the exact problem. You're not listening to your fans. The fans are telling, well, I don't even know that it's not listening to your fans. TKO is not listening to the fans because TKO does not have any idea of what they're doing when it comes to wrestling. So we need to let the Tony Khans go sit down somewhere and all the TKO executives go sit down somewhere and let the Triple H's of the world and, the other guys do their thing to where they, wrestling can be good again. We're
Yeah.
tired of seeing the same product. Tired, I don't know. It
Let
just
the owners be owners and let the wrestlers promote and write wrestling.
yes,
Plain and
and
simple.
that's it. There is no other way around it. Keep your nose out of stuff you don't know nothing about because you're not letting the fans enjoy the product anymore. That's just my take on that. I don't want to go into a deep thing because, like I said, we've beat that horse to death on this show for the past year. And it just doesn't seem like anything because guess what? They're not listening to the fans. What do you know? They don't take to social media. All righty. The last thing I've got before I do these, well, actually, I take it back. I do want to play something that's a quick shout out from this gentleman, and I hope he doesn't mind me doing this. I do not have permission to do this, but I don't. But he did shout us out, so and answer a question of ours. So I would like to share it with the community. But before we do that, Ric Flair has fired back at his online critics with a pair of fiery posts on X. If all you haters don't realize what I've done in professional wrestling, from now on, don't call me Rick, call me Legend. Flair pointed out his historic career, reminding fans of the decades he spent helping build the wrestling business and becoming one of the most recognizable stars. In a second post, he challenged anonymous critics directly. Let's have your real names and identity. I'll talk to you all individually. Dial 1-800 Ric Flair famous. Flair has also declared that he has more money than time and said that he's tired of social media trolls. The comments come just days after Flair deleted a series of posts involving his son David Flair and their ongoing public dispute over the name Flair. They're literally fighting over the name Flair. One thing is certain, the Nature Boy isn't staying quiet. Man, I think it's time for Nate to sit down somewhere. I just, he's taking things too far. We get it.
I
We know what you've done.
Yeah, I agree that he has more money than time left because he's old and shit. And I think, and I'm with you. I think you need to sit down. Your legacy secure. Go rest. But I think him being Nate, he can't. Like it's just not who he is. Like he's played this character for so long that there is no separation. So
There is no Richard Fleer anymore.
yeah, there's only Ric Flair.
I agree. And I hate it too because I think he's putting a little bit of a dark shadow on his legacy that he keeps talking about. And I hate that because Hogan, Flair, they built what wrestling is. And you got to throw the Vinces in there too for what they did too. But for as far as the names, Hogan and Flair is what made wrestling the top thing that it was in the 80s. Like we were talking earlier with Mr. Mancini. Had it not been for Mr. Mancini's golden era of wrestling, there wouldn't be an attitude era. There wouldn't be a ruthless aggression era. There wouldn't be these other eras of wrestling. So, just I don't know. I'm tired of hearing the drunk rants from Ric Flair. Somebody needs to at least take the social media away from him. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But before we get into these results and let you all get out of here, like I said, I keep saying that I'm trying to finish this up as quick as I can. The Road Dogg Jesse James and his wife They do question and answers on their live videos and stuff and everything. Well, the other day we had the privilege of having one of our questions asked and answered on their live. So I'm gonna play that for you real quick. I hope this audio is working.
Headlock Heels and Havoc Wrestling.
Yes.
I want to start by thanking Mr. James for all the wonderful memories. My question is, which was more fun, the singles title reign or the tag title reign? And remember, Headlock Heels and Havoc Wrestling loves them Outlaws and DX.
Amen.
So which one is more fun, singles or tag?
Well, so, look, I had a lot of fun doing the hardcore stuff. When that was to me what my singles run was. I didn't get a run as the real Double J, you know what I mean? I didn't get a big run as the roadie or anything, you know what I mean? So to me, once me and Billy broke up for good and I had that Intercontinental title for a second, and like I've said before, they realized they put it on the wrong guy, and then they gave me the hardcore title, and I feel like that was the singles run. So that was a long way of saying I was really happy during that, and I felt good, but nothing feels better than the tag team run for two reasons. One, I only have to do half the work, and two, that's the lazy reason, but two, I can lean on Billy. I can lean on someone to carry me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just having him in there with me always made it feel better and feel easier. So it was always funner when he's standing there, because our relationship was part of it, you know what I mean?
I see another question. I'm going to do.
I thought that was pretty awesome. The fact that just the road dog Jesse James even said the name of our show. And then on top of it, we get the honor of having Mario Mancini on the show. The fact that he's coming back on the show, I feel honored to be sitting in this spot, doing these things and meeting these people. So thank you, Road Dog. Thank you, Mr. Mancini. And thank you to everybody. Every, wrestler, promoter, manager, every guest we've ever had. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming on this show. You're the reason why we've been able to sustain for a year. So thank you. I'm going to read these results real quick. Let Uncle Slam read his results, and we're going to get out of here, guys. AEW Dynamite for June 3rd, 2026. MJF defeated Rush for the AEW Championship. There was a no count out match. Mark Briscoe defeated Leo Rush. Andrade, the Idol, defeated DK Vandu. Kevin Knight, the TNT champion, defeated Mike Bailey. Mercedes Moné defeated Alex Windsor in the Owen Hart women's quarterfinal. And if you don't know what that is, they have an Owen Hart Classic tournament. It's kind of like the equivalent of the King of the Ring tournament that they have in the WWE. Will Ospreay defeated Mark Davis in the men's Owen Hart men's semifinals. TNT Impact was June 4th, 2026. Eddie Edwards defeated BDE in a Boston Knee Party. Indy Hartwell and Santino Marella defeated Ariana Grace and Stax, which that's Channing Stax Lorenzo. And they did the double Cobra finish. Mr. Elegance defeated Knockouts champion Lee Young Lee. The Excuse Moi non-title match is what was used to win. And the Righteous defeated the Hardys with the Wicked in a Wicked Garden match. NWA Power most recent available episode was May 1st, 2026. The Titans of Calamity defeated Jack and Eddie, Devastation Reborn, and Death Row Militia. The Crockett Cup number 16 seed play-in. Titans of Calamity defeated Sins and Grins in the Crockett Cup. Giselle Shaw defeated Tiffany Neves. I think that's how you say her name. NWA Women's title. The title changed hands. And the Titans of Calamity defeated the Immortals to win, if I'm not mistaken, the Crockett Cup first round. They won that, but if I'm not mistaken, they won the entire Crockett Cup here recently by defeating a couple of gentlemen, no pun intended, that I would like to get on the show too. The country gentlemen, the Kazanas. But yeah, that's all I've got for the shows. What do you got, Uncle Slam, so we can get them
All
out of
right.
here?
All right. I'm gonna try to stay in order because we had SmackDown, Clash in Italy, and then Raw, and then NXT. We're gonna start with SmackDown, where we had Alexis Bliss versus Jade Cargill. No surprise, Cargill defeats Bliss. Then we had Axiom versus The Miz, with Axiom defeating The Miz. Then we had Damian Priest tagging up with Royce Key versus the MTF, with MTF getting the victory over Priest and Key. Then we had Sami Zayn versus Matt Cardona, with Sami Zayn getting the victory over Cardona. And finally, we had Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints, with it being a double count out. It means nobody got the victory. And on the women's side, we had Chelsea Green versus Nina Jax, and Chelsea Green defeated Nina Jax. Let's see. Then we'll go to Clash in Italy, where we had Cody Rhodes defend his title against Gunther, and Cody came out with victory there. Then we had the other main event with Tribal Combat for the World Heavyweight title with Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu, with Roman Reigns coming out on top, which means Jacob Fatu has to acknowledge him. So,
I hated that.
we had Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill in a hard fought match. Um, let's see. Then we had run-in from B-Fab and Charlotte Flair, but Rhea Ripley retained her title. The Intercontinental Championship match was Soruka versus Becky Lynch. With the big upset, Soruka captured her first Intercontinental belt in WWE main event. Of course, the big match that had nothing to do with a belt was the Obafemi Brock Lesnar match, with Obafemi taking what 7 F5
Yep.
before he was finally defeated. Which I have to ask you, how do you feel about that match?
It was what I thought it was going to be. Um, I knew it wasn't going to be a 20, 30 minute, barn burner. Wasn't going to be a technical match. I wasn't disappointed in it, but at the same time, I am kind of tired of every one of Brock Lesnar's matches being here. I'm going to do one move 15 times and then we're out. You know what I mean? It just seems kind of like, it's getting old.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Here. Okay. Now that moves us to Raw, where we had Seth Rollins defeating Braun Breaker in the main event. Um, via pinfall after a chaotic Paul Heyman and Montez Ford involvement. We had a tag team match with Rey Mysterio versus Dragon Lee, defeating Rusev and Ethan Page. The Queen of Ring qualifying match with Io Sky defeating Roxy Perez, Last Legend, and Julia. I want to say Julia, but it's a G. So probably
Julia.
Yeah. Then we had Obafemi coming out on top on the other qualifying match for the men, King of the Ring, beating Penta, Soruka, and Carmelo Hayes. Let's see. Obviously, the key point on this was Jacob Fatu officially acknowledging Roman Reigns as a tribal chief. Let's see.
Which was dumb. I'm sorry.
And finally at NXT, we had Tony D defend his title against Cam Hendricks. In the men's speed championship, we had Lex King defeat Roman Marino via pinfall to retain his speed championship. Women's division, Zaria defeated Lizzie Rang by pinfall after hitting a F5 to win to set up the number one contenders match against Tatum Paxton next week. Then we had tag team. We had OTM versus the Culling, with OTM coming out on top. Also, in singles match, we had Jackson Drake versus Tate Wilder, with Drake winning via pinfall with a little help from outside interference. Tag team, we had Dark State beat Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. And let's see, in the women's division of NXT, we have a number one contenders match next week with Kendall Bray and Alani Jordan. Let's see. Tatum Paxton, like I said before, is scheduled to fight Daria. And let's see. Shallow Hill and Chris Angel are set to have the Mr. NXT pageant. That nobody cares about. And that is a wrap for this week.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate everybody being here. Uncle Slam, yeah, you got anything else?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm tapped out for this week.
I agree. Referees hit that 3 count. Guys, join us. Keep in touch because we are going to be bringing you some good episodes here lately, especially next month. Like I said, I keep repeating it. We're gonna have a part 2 with Mr. Mancini. Next week, we have a guest from Aftermath Pro Wrestling, which is a company owned by a buddy of ours. He's been on the show a few times, Mr. Brox Boulder, one half of Grappling Inc. We are going to have Chad Casey, the savior of wrestling, on the show, and we are going to enjoy a little conversation with him. We are going to get some things trying to rolling for you guys. We appreciate you all being here. We appreciate all the love and support. Please go out, share this, like it, subscribe it. If we could get a portion of what Mr. Mancini said he's done for other podcasts, it would be an honor, so his help is tremendous. We appreciate everybody. Referees hit that 3 count, so we're going to ring that damn bell.